What's up? A lot of people have asked me about doing the Ford 88 and a 240SX S13. I'm going to go over with or without the MOSWorks kit and why the MOSWorks kit says S14 and not S13, but I believe the MOSWorks kit would work for the S13 as well. I'll kind of go over some of the pros and cons of the MOSWorks kit. I'm using a Ford Explorer differential. 2010 and newer has dual mounts. The 2010 and older just have a single mount on one side. That is the only difference. You could do this swap for a couple $100 if you pull everything from your junkyard, or a couple $1,000. Axles is where it gets the most expensive. I'm going to run an LPW diff cover, which is the same one that comes in the MOSWorks kit. I just bought it separately. You could probably use the factory cover, but this is what I'm going to use. These guys are going to add some strength to it as it puts more strength on your bearings as well. Axles, I'll go over that a little bit later. I don't have time to edit these videos, so I'm just going to upload them raw in a couple of episode series and show you how it's done. So first, I got the S13 subframe. First mistake I made when I first did this with the MOSWorks kit was I just cut it up outside the car, and the subframes turned to tissue paper at this point. So this time I welded in all these additional braces, reinforced the subframe, bolted it into the car before I started cutting. The main difference between the S14 and S13 subframe, why the MOSWorks kit says S14, is this flange is a little bit skinnier on an S13, but I think the MOSWorks brackets will work pretty close enough. Also, this front section is a little bit different on the S13, but on the S14 subframe, you pretty much cut this whole thing out to make the MOSWorks thing fit, so you could probably retrofit the MOSWorks kit to work for the S13 subframe as well. One thing I don't like about the MOSWorks kit, it doesn't leave room for the fill and drain port on the diff, so that's why I'm doing this one myself from scratch. And yeah, it's kind of up to you. So I got the subframe in here. I'm going to weld some braces across this before I cut this all the way out to keep everything, all my suspension points in the same location. The front I'm not too worried about. Once I get the back all welded, I'm going to just cut the whole front section off and make that from scratch once I get the diff kind of mocked into place, and I'll just weld it onto probably about here. So that's episode 1, and as soon as I get that done, I'll come back and go on to episode 2 and show you what you do next.